The girls are fighting. And by the girls, I mean Logan Paul and CoffeeZilla, CrowdStrike and Delta customers and Delta, and literally the girls on TikTok. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about what I like to call everything's negotiable until it's not. My name's Alicia, and this is Slash Your Chick TV, where we like to talk about growth mindset and negotiation strategies so you never have to choose between this or that. You can always say yes to this slash that. And I do firmly believe that everything is negotiable until it's not. And we're going to cover a few of the scenarios that resemble that remark. And
Hey! What is the tea? The girls are fighting! No! The girls are fighting!
First up, because this is just quick and it's ongoing and it's new, is CoffeeZilla versus Logan Paul. Well, it's not new. It's kind of been ongoing. The beef has been going back and forth for about as long as Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. But if you don't know who I'm talking about, well, Logan Paul is a YouTuber with how many? I can't even see my screen. 23.6 million subscribers, and has launched other businesses off the platform, one of which was unsuccessful and called a scam by another YouTuber. This was specifically about his crypto business called CryptoZoo. So CoffeeZilla called out Logan Paul more than once, and ultimately now Logan Paul is suing CoffeeZilla for defamation. However, he's not suing him for defamation in the crypto expose videos. He's suing him for defamation in other videos in which CoffeeZilla says that, in his opinion, Logan Paul should be giving back full refunds to all potential customers, and the fact that he isn't is allegedly a scam. I hope I said all of that right so that I don't get sued, because it's really none of my business. But the fact that it's all over YouTube, well, that now makes it my business, and I can be entertained by this. But not only is it entertaining, it's also a teaching moment. I like to talk about negotiation strategies, particularly principle-based negotiations, because it's about getting results that are the best for all parties involved. And there are 7 elements of principle-based negotiations, like your relationship, communication, your interests, the options that you have available, what are relevant standards so that you all can consider whether the agreement is fair, what the agreement might be, and alternatives to that agreement, and how you'll manage that if somehow the agreement is breached. Those are all the things you should cover in your negotiation to have a successful, not only negotiation, but relationship moving forward. And one of the things that Logan failed to remember is he actually apologized for this alleged scam. Even giving back some of the refunds is maybe an acknowledgement of some wrongdoing, but he's also been documented saying that CoffeeZilla is thorough, does investigative reporting, and what you can read between the lines is that CoffeeZilla did not have any malicious intent and likely did not cause Logan Paul to lose any money or lose any opportunities by damaging his reputation, because Logan Paul doesn't have the best reputation in the first place, at least as far as I know. I don't necessarily know him as a scammer. I would say problematic entertainer. But this is going to be ongoing because it's been going on for a while. So keep watching to see how that negotiation goes, because it is no longer negotiable between these two parties. It has risen to the level of the courts. Now, next on my list is CrowdStrike versus Delta. Now, if you had not heard about the CrowdStrike meltdown that happened on, I think it was July 23rd. I don't know. I think it was only a few weeks ago, but it feels like a lifetime. And because of this meltdown, CrowdStrike did release an incident report saying what ultimately caused it, but it really caused a lot of other software and services that depend on CrowdStrike to no longer work for an extended period of time. Besides the major outage that day, there were ripple effects to this outage. And one of those ripple effects were around Delta's services. And Delta has still not recovered. And that can definitely be seen through the Delta Reddit thread. Now, just to get an idea of what happened, according to CNN Business, CrowdStrike CEOs fired out. So according to CNN Business, Delta CEO fired at CrowdStrike CEO, saying that their outage caused Delta over $500 million in damages, and they might potentially sue because this breach or outage caused all of this quote unquote loss of revenue. CrowdStrike did not take too kindly to that. Okay, so with the Delta CEO saying that, it seemed like the Microsoft owns CrowdStrike might be facing a lawsuit because of the damage, and Delta stated that they were seeking legal counsel. And well, CrowdStrike did not take too kindly to that threat and decided to respond. And CrowdStrike had this to say through their attorney, and this is what the letter states. I'm laughing because this is in legalese, but CrowdStrike was pretty specific on don't play with me. Okay, that's basically what they said. CrowdStrike replied that our outage has nothing to do with your poor choices on how you treated your customers. So, according to CrowdStrike's attorney, he says, and this is in my attorney voice, I am writing on behalf of my client CrowdStrike Incorporated in response to your letter dated July 29, 2024, in which Delta Airlines Inc. raises issues and threatens CrowdStrike with legal claims related to the July 19, 2024 content configuration update impacting the Falcon sensor and the Windows operating system. Now, told you they did the incident report. They have done their due diligence as to what happened here. And I was wrong about the date. It wasn't July 23rd. It was July 19th. But there were definitely still effects by July 23rd. CrowdStrike reiterates its apology to Delta, its employees, and its customers, and is empathetic to the circumstances they faced. However, CrowdStrike is highly disappointed by Delta's suggestions that CrowdStrike acted inappropriately and strongly rejects any allegation that it was grossly negligent or committed willful misconduct with respect to the Channel 5 291 incident that no one is ever going to forget. Your suggestion that CrowdStrike failed to do testing and validation is contradicted by the very information which you rely from CrowdStrike's preliminary post-incident report. So in other words, they're like, listen, the thing that you said, you already contradicted yourself in the statement because you used our information from the incident report to make your statement. And so you wouldn't have that if we weren't doing our job. So we couldn't have been grossly negligent. We followed whatever our procedures were should this type of thing happen. Now, again, they go on in the letter to say, CrowdStrike worked tirelessly to help its customers restore impacted systems and resume services to their customers. Within hours of the incident, CrowdStrike reached out to Delta to offer assistance and ensure Delta was aware of available remediation. Additionally, CrowdStrike CEO personally reached out to Delta CEO to offer on-site assistance, but received no response. CrowdStrike followed up with Delta to offer more on-site support and was told that the on-site support resources were not needed. To this day, CrowdStrike continues to work closely and professionally with Delta's information security team. So they go on to say, like, look, we offered you help. We called your CEO. Y'all didn't call us back. So don't play with me. That's basically what CrowdStrike says in a professional way. And they continue their don't play with me by letting Delta know these are the literal receipts that we have about your failure to just provide good customer service, which as far as I knew, I thought you were kind of known for, but not today. Because Delta's public threat of litigation distracts from this work and has contributed to a misleading narrative that CrowdStrike is responsible for Delta's IT decisions in response to the outage. Now, they italicized this to say that they are not responsible for Delta's decisions and their response to the outage. And you saying that publicly, threatening to sue us, it implies that you think that we are. So that sounds almost like you're defaming us because we can't be responsible for your decisions. That's what CrowdStrike said back in this letter, okay? They continued to say, should Delta pursue this path, Delta will have to explain to the public, its shareholders, and ultimately a jury why CrowdStrike took responsibility for its actions swiftly, transparently, and constructively, while Delta did not. Among other things, Delta will need to explain, and they proceed to list a bulleted list that I'll just end here because it starts with why Delta's competitors facing similar challenges all restored operations much faster. In other words, everybody else who was dependent on that, they got it together, and their customers aren't complaining everywhere, and their customers aren't getting together to potentially file a class action lawsuit. So what was your problem, Delta? That's what CrowdStrike said. Now, clearly this is ongoing. All of this is allegedly, in my opinion, or interpretation of the documents that I am reading. But this is what happens when the things that were negotiable are no longer negotiable, and now they have risen to the level of court and mediation and arbitration and all of those things. Mediation, litigation, arbitration. Now everybody knows your business. Well, not in all of those, but litigation, depending on it, it might be public information. So those are the risks. Now, the last thing I have is about relationships, which I think relationships are one long negotiation, because with every negotiation, you are weighing the substance of what you want and the impact that might have to the long-term relationship. And sometimes you don't care as much about the stuff. You care more about the relationship. And so you're willing to acquiesce on things. But sometimes it's the other way around. Now, in this particular TikTok, the person she's talking about, I don't know how much, well, I know what I think they cared about, but we shall see. You'll get to see what I'm talking about, and then you can let me know your opinion about this aspect of negotiating friendships in the comments. Okay, this creator, Ebony and John, she has about 600,000 followers on TikTok, and she told this story time that's kind of going viral. It's got almost 1 million views, and it's this friendship story time here that, well, we'll take a look at it now.
I think I just lost a friend. Get ready with me while I tell you. About 2 weeks ago, I get a text from my friend. Been friends for about 5 years now, and she's inviting people to her birthday celebration, which is at the end of the month. So I get a text message from her, and she's saying that she wants to celebrate her birthday. Right off the bat, I was
okay, nothing to do with this story, but I love it when people do their like get ready with me story times. And if I knew how to do makeup, I would do those too. But maybe I should do them not knowing how to do makeup, and that'll be more entertaining. Anyway.
like, okay, that's not, what I was expecting, but whatever, it's her birthday. Like, let me just keep reading the text and see this about. So the rest of the message goes on to say that she wants to celebrate 5 days with an Airbnb.
Also, I don't think I've ever seen anybody with 2 nose rings. That's kind of cute. Okay, yeah, depending on, I mean, if you're getting you guys like a villa type Airbnb, $13.50 per person, and you said y'all staying a week, that's a reasonable price, yeah. Someone said in the comments, is she renting a castle? Possibly, like that's what I'm saying.
That it was already becoming like really expensive. In addition to the stay in the Airbnb and the travel, she also
But I already agree that an Airbnb with like 10 people, I'm not doing it. Don't even know each other like that. I don't know this friend group. So even if you know a friend group, traveling together is a different level of friendship. That's what I mean. That's a negotiation. And I don't know if I would just randomly go celebrate someone's birthday with up to 10 people. I don't know. I've done it before and had amazing experiences, but I have to be in the mood for that.
like a 7 or 8 course dinner that would not be included in the trip. It's a lot. And then when I say that everything else would be taken care of, just that we would have to.
And there's all these add-ons. Foundation, though.
Just like, okay, I texted her privately and I'm just like, hey, this is for really, unfortunately, be able to make it. She writes me
Okay.
asking why, but oh, getting that time away from work and being able to travel, like that just would not really be.
All right. Now that's also another red flag for me, that she just asked only why, not like, hey, is everything okay? But it really was just very much like, okay, why are you coming to my thing? No concern for her friend. I love the cream brush. Now I understand. So you don't have enough friends to actually go and make sure you get 10 people. And I feel like I already know where this is going, because this might explain why she doesn't have enough friends.
And then it just stops for like 3 days. We don't talk. And I'm like, okay, whatever. It was a story on Instagram. One of those stories that she shared somebody else's post says, I'm no longer hanging out with people. Your network is your net worth, like all of these things. I text her and I'm like, hey, like with everything.
See, this is what I appreciate. She just followed up. I do not believe in sub posts or sub tweeting or sub any of that. Like, just go talk to the person. Like, who does that? Especially a whole grown adult. But if you think that's what's happening, I would do the same. I would just probably ask, because I want to know, if are you the kind of person that does that? So I know where to put you. Make it look so good, though.
Is everything okay? Who were you talking about? She was like, what do you think I'm like talking about you? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm wondering if you are, because of everything that's going on with your birthday. Mind you, I have known her for about 5 years, so I'm in a little bit of a shock when she's responding this way. So it's like, okay, like I don't, I'm sorry if you're upset. Birthday, like I thought I explained myself. She's like, babe, like it's really not that serious. You don't need to take everything online so serious. But that was 2 weeks ago. I haven't heard anything from her since. I tried texting, I tried calling.
Okay, now that's where you lost me, sis, because I'm not contacting her again after that. You didn't, like, one, you already did not even attempt to validate my feelings, even if I was wrong. But to say, oh, it's not that serious, don't take everything on the internet seriously, was a completely dismissive, and just doesn't feel very reciprocal as a friendship. And that's it. Negotiation should have some mutual benefit. You shouldn't feel bad at all. You should feel relieved. If anything, she should not feel bad. She should feel relieved to finally know who this friend is after 5 years. I like the makeup. Okay, so she asked my opinion, and I'm going to give it. What would I do in this situation? Would I still remain friends with the person? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because one, the thing I would have learned from this particular incident is we weren't actually friends. And your definition of friendship is not the same.
I definitely just lost a friend, so get ready with me while I give you an update on what happened. I definitely just lost a friend.
Okay, so there was an update, and we already are, no sis. You're saying you just lost a friend. Exactly. Comment number 1 says you didn't lose a friend and enemy was revealed. Can I like this comment? Let me like this comment. Also, if you're not following me on the TikTok, I'm Slasher Chick over there too. So yeah, join me. Don't post content. Get it? I'm working on it.
I definitely just lost a friend, so get ready with me while I give you an update on what happened with text messages and screenshots. So I wake up to 3 or 4 text messages from my friend, pissed off that I made a video. She saw the video that I made talking about her birthday, and she went off on these messages. Basically just saying, like, why did you make a video about me, painting me in a bad light?
Okay, I mean, I might have felt some type of way. Now that I know you have almost 1 million subscribers, yeah, I might have, but...
And making it seem like I was
don't do the things.
Advantage of you and all of these things, because now you have a bunch of people just thinking that I'm a bad person. And at first when I was reading them, I guess I could understand why somebody would be mad if they had their friend make a video about them on social media. But then I went on to read the messages, and it was just kind of, she was calling me petty, saying,
these comments though are passing the vibe check, okay?
Be for real, like, why would you do something like this? You're just mad that you can't afford to go on the trip and all these other things. And I was just like, this is really crazy, because I made a video. I didn't state your name. And this is what I responded back to her. I was like, I didn't state your name in the video. I didn't tag you. I also said that I look so stupid right now, and that the entire group chat that I was in, she removed me from the group chat on WhatsApp, but the entire group chat that I was in is apparently laughing at me right now. They're all just kind of thinking that I look really petty and stupid, and I'm just jealous that I can't.
Girl, no, sis. No, sis. That entire group chat is fucking miserable. Ooh, is miserable. That's what's happening now in that group chat. Don't even worry about it, sis.
Can't go on this trip. Try to not get worked up and upset over it, because it really brings me back to when I was in high school and friendships would sort of end this way. The rest of that message.
High school. It sounds exactly like high school, and that's as an adult. I got no time for it. My feelings are hurt though.
It was just imagine being in your feelings because you can't go on a trip. I'm like, wow, she's going off. She's obviously really upset. So for a minute I was thinking, okay, should I take the video down? But then I was like, no, I didn't say her name. I didn't.
Girl, no, you shouldn't take that video down. You got almost 1 million views. If you're a paid content creator and you take the video down, how will you ever make money to go on future trips? Girls, tell them to eat your dust and keep it moving.
Nobody knows who I'm talking about. They also sent me one of those voice note things, but I think that was honestly just a butt dial, because it just sounded like it was a group of people sort of laughing. Nothing was really even said. So I respond.
Oh my God, what are they, 12?
And I'm just like, wow, like I don't even know why you're acting like this towards me, because I honestly.
Okay, she says, wow, I have no idea what's going on and why you're acting this way towards me. Yes, I made a video. I didn't use your name, nor did I show our conversation or tag you or anything. You never watch any of my videos anyway, so I wasn't thinking that you'd see it. Something's going on with you beyond what I've done. So, okay, she's trying.
Honestly, really don't. I have no idea if there's something going on that I have nothing to do with. And I'm talking about like a complete change in someone's personality towards me. I'm
don't think
I'm at a loss for words. I'm just so confused. And another thing that I noticed is that
I doubt that it was. Here's the thing, and this is, you said it reminded you, and I'm talking to the creator right now, but she said it reminded her of friendships like in high school. And so I think you've probably been here before, honey, where people maybe take advantage of you, or they have transactional relationships with you where you have something to offer them and therefore they're your friend until you no longer have anything of value to give them. And those people are selfish. They're not your tribe. And so I think you just probably didn't notice it when it was happening before, because it's like your default.
I had not heard from her in about 2 weeks. Suddenly I make a video, she sees it, which I felt like there was a good chance that she was going to see the video, and then she contacts me. For me, that's something like, okay, so you never.
So you have no rap for me up until the video went up? Okay.
Gonna say anything if I didn't say anything publicly at all. Then she calls me because she has some stuff at my store that she was going to want to pick up. But while we were on the phone,
is this how I should be putting on my foundation to be getting these flawless looks?
She's like, okay, like I hope you're not gonna try to keep my stuff at your store either. Like I'm gonna need to come and pick those up. And then,
no, but I'm not petty like you.
And I'm like, yeah, like obviously I'm not gonna keep your stuff. Like you're about to just be arguing.
Like now you're calling me a thief on top of it?
And beefing with yourself online, because there's no way that I'm going back and forth with you on a social media platform when we just have each other's numbers and we can duke it out that way. And I'm like, duke it out. I'm like, why are you so angry? So I say that on the phone. I'm like, why are you so angry? Phone's back. She's like, I'm not angry. She's like, you're the one who's angry making videos on social media. I feel like I'm being gaslighted because.
You know what? But if that's what she wants to believe, yeah, let her believe it. Like, what do you care? Let her believe it. Let her believe it and go on with her life. And you can go find joy and friendship elsewhere with people who actually want to communicate and reciprocate friendship. Because girl, bye.
Because I'm like, I said, you're the one who was posting memes and stuff on your stories, and I'm sure were clearly about me. And she's like I said before, she's like, you can't be thinking every single thing online is about you. And I'm like, but the timing though, the timing and what you said, and also what you just said in your messages calling.
Oh, you were most definitely being gaslit. She was trying to tell you, like, no, exactly what you are witnessing happening is not happening.
Me brokey and all that stuff. It literally sounds like you were talking about me publicly before I even made any video explaining what happened, which I'm allowed to do. So hours go by and she texts me again, and it's just like, I just feel like if you had a problem, you should have just came to me instead of going to social media.
Girl, I tried to come to you. You wouldn't talk to me.
I sent my brother to the store to pick up my stuff that I have there, and I'm just like, haven't said anything back.
Don't send your brother. Send in a TaskRabbit.
I don't really know everyone who was going to be going on the trip. I probably only know like 3 or 4 other women besides her, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be friends with any of the people in the group chat, because at this point it's really awkward. I'm not really just losing, one friend. I feel like I'm, just kind of outcasted by a group of women in New York City, and they go to places that I go to. So it's not like I'm not going to see these people. And it just, for me, it's just so awkward. It feels like mean girl shit. After reading the comments under that video, I did not even realize that that was just a price that was completely like insane, because I had never been to Italy.
Okay, the price is not insane. I don't know what are y'all trying to stay in? Like
I said, I had never really rented an Airbnb with 10 people. So I'm not even sure what was going on in that sense financially with her, what she was doing. I'm not even sure if anybody else in the group is agreeing to this. I don't know if they worked something else out. I absolutely have no idea. Like I said, like I am now out of the group chat. It's really hard at this age to make friends, especially in a city like New York. So that does suck, and that's very awkward for me. This is the final look. Hope you guys like it. I went with a new. Thank you guys for listening to this crazy personal story of mine. And yeah, losing friends, I guess, is part of life. So on to bigger and better things. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.
So yes, losing friends is a part of life. It's a part of the growing and evolution. But this is also why relevant standards are important, because I don't think that price for the Airbnb is insane. The type of place that you need to have 10 people stay in comfortably is probably like a few $1,000s a night. Like it's probably like 12 at minimum, like a $1,200 a night bill up. So yeah, that's not and so again, we have to relevant standards are how we know this is fair. Like, well, what are you accustomed to staying in? Are you accustomed to staying in like a 3-star, a 4-star, a 5-star? Do you want all inclusive? Do you not? Because everybody looks at travel differently, and what we're comfortable with is definitely a negotiation. But as far as what are relevant standards about that, you could actually just show the prices for these are the types of prices for the type of unit that I want to be able to stay in, and that would let you know if it's true. But I want to know what you think in the comments about any of these things, negotiations I talked about. What do you think is going to happen between CrowdStrike and Delta, or Delta's customers even now suing them because of all the cancellations and their poor service as a result? What do you think is going to happen with Logan Paul and CoffeeZilla and a friendship thing? Anyway, this is Slasher Chick TV. I'm glad that you were here with me for another day of a video every day in August. And if no one else has told you today, you are more than enough, and I love you.